Welcome back, guys. It seems like 2025 is the year of the layoff. It doesn't matter whether we look at Donald Trump's massive US government layoffs or whether we look at the private sector, whether we look at banking, tech, or any other big industry. We're just seeing layoffs left, right, and center from some of the world's biggest and largest companies. And that brings us on to today's topic, as we are looking at HP today, one of the world's biggest computing companies, a product or a company that's products you may have dealt with in the past. HP plans to cut up to 2,000 jobs to secure against macro threats, despite posting 2.4% in growth, and this was coming from the 3rd of March. So, HP, again a rather large company which you may have heard of before, has plans to cut between 1,000 and 2,000 jobs this year as part of a structural savings program that will save the business an additional $300 million for its future-ready restructuring program. Now on track to save $1.9 billion from its start in 2023 by the end of 2025's financial year. So the job cuts were announced on the 27th of February alongside the firm's quarterly results. It will be a key lever to help secure the firm against macro and geopolitical uncertainty. We already know a lot of these big companies now are very, very concerned. You know, they were concerned anyway, but with the downturn that we're seeing in the stock market, a lot of people think there's a lot of uncertainty around Donald Trump and his policies. People are worried, and so are big companies. They're aware of what could happen, they're aware of what is happening to their business, and one thing that we've spoken about on this channel many times before, right? A lot of people think that the economic downturn, the potential recession that we may be walking into is a new thing. We've got a lot of data, where jobs have been being cut for years, customers aren't spending as much. This could have been a recession for a long time, whether the stock market showed it or not, but that's a different topic. So again, we're seeing a lot of geopolitical uncertainty, we're seeing a lot of real issues, real concerns, especially for tech companies, right? And whilst HP are apparently pleased with their Q1 performance, achieving revenue growth for the 3rd straight quarter and advancing their strategy of future work, their progress was fueled by a strong commercial business in personal systems and momentum in their key growth areas. That's all well and good. But they still want to restructure, they still want to grow their business, right? Their printing revenues have fallen by 2.4% in the period. So, you weigh it all up, and whilst it doesn't seem too bad on paper for HP, they're still looking to restructure the brand, right? All of these companies want to cut costs, they want to save money, they want to grow their business as much as possible. And unfortunately, getting rid of staff seems to be one of the easiest and unfortunately quickest ways to do that. So, what else are we looking at for HP? Well, I want to go back in time to discuss something that we have. This is an article that I have from quite a while ago. It came out in 2022 and it spoke about how HP's layoffs could influence and impact 6,000 workers through 2025. Again, this was written some time ago, but this goes back to the broader trend, because we might see these relatively small numbers and not think it's that big of a deal. But the reality is, we've seen cutbacks in HP's workforce now for quite some time. Again, this article spoke about how HP at the time had around 60,000 employees, according to CNBC in 2019, but they announced that they planned to cut between 7,000 and 9,000 workers. So again, we don't necessarily want to focus too much on the data from this time period, but what I do want to focus on is that this number, which apparently can be anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500, what we're seeing here is that this is just part of a prolonged trend in a lot of these big companies, right? It seems like it's not that large of a number, 2,500. It is, but it's not massive. But going back on the broader point, right, these are bigger numbers over the past 5 years or so, and it is all relevant to the trend of where the company is going. So again, the server maker HP Enterprises topped revenue expectations for the January quarter, even as it faced heavy discounting in the market. HP wants to trim its headcount for around 2,500 or 5%, including expected attrition. So like I say, depending on what source you're coming from, we're looking at around 2,000, 2,500. But add that to what we saw in the last couple of years, that additional 7,000 to 9,000, we could be looking at well over 10,000 people now having lost their jobs or having their positions phased out or cut. This is the reality of the broader picture in the tech sector, and I wanted to bring that to you in today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.